Hey, what's up, everybody? This is going to be part 2. If you haven't watched part 1, go ahead and watch that. I do Bitcoin, Theta, and Total 3, talking about different fractals and things like that. So this video, I'm going to focus on XRP here. So XRP is like literally at a do or die moment. Really, the whole market is. I mean, if you look at this trend line here, I mean, we are literally right there for something to happen. So this is it right here. So we'll see how it plays out. Obviously, there's been 2 ideas on the table. One of them is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a 5-wave move and a 3-wave pullback. So we have A, we have a B, and then we have, or actually a WX and then a Y. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, which really is W complex X and then 1, 2, 3 for Y, or the count, which basically suggests that's finished and we're about to break out, right, and to go into wave 3. So this would be wave 1, wave 2, and now we're going into wave 3. So that's one idea. The other idea suggests that, it's still a 5-wave move. It's still bullish, right? We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a diagonal. But this is an A, this is a complex B, and now we got C. So, is C finished? Well, it would appear no, because we need 5 waves. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. We come down around 37 cents, maybe between 33 and 37 cents. Build a little base and then go, right? So when you zoom out, what that would be is 1, A, B, C for wave 2, and now we go for 3. So 1, this is a wave 2, right? You could start to see the shape, A, B, C. It's got a very beautiful shape. So that's how I would look at that. And that idea might be bearish short term, but it's actually very bullish long term. So when you, so if I go back in time here, actually I gotta go to a different chart. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So when we go back in time, you can also see that's exactly what happened here, right? We had this support line that we broke. And we broke down, we grabbed that liquidity, and then we took it higher. So same thing, the current price action. We have this support line here. You can see it right there, right? And the question is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Let's break the line, right? Grab the liquidity, and, and then take it off. So that would be, the interesting thing. But the thing is, we already broke the line. So my question is, do we already have the liquidity grab? You can see right there. So, we already have it, right? We have this trend to the upside, and now we're holding support. Here's your liquidity grab. Let's take it higher. Again, same thing that happened here. We're coming back up, right? We're holding support, holding support. We come down, we break it right there. There's your liquidity grab. And then we take it higher. So we didn't really break it by much, excluding this wick here. We broke it a little bit, but then we came quickly back up. So, looking at what we have here, I mean, it's pretty spot on. And this was actually, a spring phase. So we came up, came back down, came up, and then here's your spring phase to continue higher. So when we look at the current price, we can start to see, something similar to that. And then it also, right, I mean, there's your spring there. But it could be, a triangle as well. So it'd be A, Yeah, A, B, C, D, and now here's E. I don't like it because it already took the low, and then we continue to go, right? So that would be the idea there, is some kind of triangle, which suggests that wave E is finished and we should, continue higher. So the thing is, exactly what we've been talking about here for the liquidity graph, the triangle. But here's the interesting part. When you zoom all the way out, everything that we're talking about is at the same area as it was before, right? So this range here, so here's your big breakout. This range before the breakout is exactly what I think we're in now, this range before the breakout. And you could say, well, why is that? Well, because we're in reaccumulation. And the way you know that is, first you have a rise, we have a rise, we have a crash, we have a crash, we have a retrace, we have a retrace. We come down, we come back down. We go into reaccumulation, we're going back into reaccumulation. And then we blast off. And then what? We haven't blasted off yet. So I think it's coming, right? I think we're right at that point here. And you can see this, right? When you look at it up close, you can see this line here. Broke it, right? And you can see this line here. Also broke it. So, man, if this is like the moment, right? This is the big moment here. So we'll see how it plays out. But if we do, now again, if we do come back down, it's actually not bad. Remember, this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to finish up wave C. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, complex B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would be A, B, C. So if we do come down, and that would also be the liquidity grab, and that's where I think the bottom would be before we go much higher. So all this is predicated on what? Bitcoin, right? So going back to Bitcoin here, right? When I look at Bitcoin on the small time frames, let's go to the 1 hour chart. You could see we're potentially in some type of, watch the last video. I go much more in detail, basically looking at this as a potential contracting triangle where you have A, B, let's see. Yeah, so A, B, C. This is D, so you can see 1, 2, 3, that's D. And now we're getting this little tiny thing for wave E. And then after that, we should, theoretically be on our way, because that would be a contracting triangle that's completely finished, right? The three waves are getting smaller and smaller. And usually triangles appear in fourth wave. So we have 1, 2, 3. Here's a fourth wave triangle, and then we go for 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're in 4 now, then we get 5. That's the idea. If that idea plays out, then we can see XRP, right? That first idea where it being a WXY and it being complete. If it breaks to the downside, let's look at 1 second here, the 4 hour chart. If we break it to the downside, and let's say that triangle, doesn't work out, it is on a smaller time frame, so they're more tricky, but basically I would be looking for it to come all the way down here to 6364K. I mean, that area has been pretty substantial, 6364K. So what we could see then is be a 1, 2, right? And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, and now we're sort of coming down for C. So there would be a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then continue much higher, right? And when you put the Fibonacci retracement on here, it would actually make sense because we're still at the 236, right? We haven't even had a 50% correction yet in Bitcoin, and people are still already bearish. But we have a lot of wiggle room. We can come all the way down between 62 and 64K. I mean, that's a 618 retrace right there. And then not only right here, the golden ratio, right? So not only you have a 1, 2, and then another 1, you would also come back down to back test it, and you would also hit the 618, and you would make another 1, 2, 1, 2. So it'd be a 1, 2, 1, 2, which would be very, very bullish, because then it would set us up for a big, big third wave. If not, then this is the third wave, and then we only have one more. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we would flag out. So it's actually, when you think about it, it's actually more bullish to break to the downside than it is to break to the upside, considering the fact of where we are. So just understand that. So if we go down, then yeah, it's going to get hit, right? So then let's look at like THETA, for example. It doesn't have much room to play with, right? So if Bitcoin keeps going down, I mean, then you could lose this support here. That's why I think we're going to get at least a bounce first before coming down, if we do. But if we do come down, right, again, I just talked about this before, it would actually be another 1, 2, 1, 2 on the big time frame. So let me zoom out. So 1, 2, 1, and then A, B, C for 2, and then we would come down and back test in here, right? If that triangle failed on Bitcoin and we had a bigger sell-off in the alts. But again, when I look at total 3, right? When I look at total 3, I still see very bullishness, because when you look at the fractal, right, this is our first wave to the upside, and this is our consolidation. Now when you go back to where we are now, it's the same thing. This is our first wave up, and this is our first consolidation. So if we match that up, it actually matches up perfectly. Look at this. So I'll take a bars pattern just like that, and then I will match it up just like this. And look at that. It actually lines up perfectly, like really, really nicely. I mean, really good. Look at that. So just real quick here, we had an A, B, C. We back tested the bull market support band. We had this 1, 2, another 1, 2, and maybe another 1, 2. So if I had to guess, we're probably somewhere in this area here where we're, trickling down a little bit. Maybe test the bull market support band again, but essentially it's just one big range in here, and we're still at the upper part of the range, so we still have a lot of wiggle room to the downside. When you look at coins like THETA, they're more sort towards the downside, so it'll be interesting to see if they break the low for a liquidity grab. But that's kind of what we're looking at here. So I say we're very, very close, and this fractal looks very, very good. So yeah. So if I actually move the fractal up a little bit, and I just draw here, right? I mean, either we are right here or right here. So if this is coming down like this, we're flagging out in here, just like we flagged out in here. Then we sort of break out, kind of go sideways a little bit, and then boom, breakout. So that's kind of what it would look like. So that would mean maybe a little bit more downside and then a break. So something like that. So that's kind of what I'm thinking here for total 3. And that's all of the altcoins. So yeah, very, very interesting. When I go to XRP versus Bitcoin, I'm not going to go through it all, but we have hidden bullish divergence. I mean, you can see down here, we're going up. We're right on this trend line here. You can see this long-term trend line. We broke above the downward resistance line. We came down, we're retesting it. We're right at the low. We had 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I don't know. It's make it or break it here. And there is some really cool fractals I'd like to show that someone else posted on Twitter. Let me see. Let's see if I can find that. Well, actually, here's one fractal here that was pretty good. I liked. Basically showing the exact same thing we were looking at before, how it basically was trickling on that support, holding it, you know, before that big breakout. And by the way, this is the Bitcoin fractal that I put out in the first part video. So I'm basically kind of going everything over again. I'm just going to do it in a smaller format, try to quickly get the information out. So this will be the shorter version of that with XRP, but you can see, I mean, this is the Bitcoin fractal we're following, and if I turn the lights on, you can kind of see where we're at. So pause the video and take a look. I mean, everything from the red circle, you know, back up to here, back down here, right? I mean, it's looking pretty good, and now we're in this sort of yellow channel, right? Where this one was more of a cylinder, this one's more of a triangle. So we'll see. I mean, even this green circle, I mean, everything about it, it's pretty spot on. So, you know, we have 3 or 4 fractals that are pointing up, right? So everything is pointing more bullish, but we could have some downside pressure in between. So yeah, I think it's very, very do or die. This is the moment of truth. And I highly recommend, you know, watch the first part. I go into much more detail. Now, if I expand the fractal a little bit, it could suggest we have one more low, but we're not going to get there. You know, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, but that's kind of how it would look there, where it'd be WXYXZ. So something like that. So, but yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.